Our first session is with the Adobe Acrobat team led by Sandeep Jain. Sandeep is a Senior Engineer Manager, Document Cloud at Adobe. Currently, he is responsible for Adobe Acrobat desktop applications, generative AI integrations, and security stability, among other areas. Other than Acrobat Desktop, he has worked on various projects, including Photoshop Elements, Technical Communication Suite, Creative Cloud, and Adobe Illustrator over the past 15 years. Thank you, Sandeep, and I'm looking forward to your session. Sandeep is now walking onto stage. He is standing at the center of the stage wearing a peach shirt and jeans.
Hello, everyone.
There is also a screen behind Sandeep.
Yeah, pretty interactive sessions today. So let me start with a quick introduction. I'm Sandeep from the Acrobat Desktop Group. And today I'm here with my team who owns the accessibility charter for the Acrobat Desktop application. And that's why we are suited for this forum. As you all know, Acrobat is one of Adobe's flagship products. Many of you might not know that it comes in two flavors, Acrobat Pro and Acrobat Reader. And it has a very large user base, spanning over hundreds of millions of users. And today, early in the session during the keynote, it was mentioned that 16% of the population has accessibility usage, right? So from that sense, at least 16 million users of Acrobat would require accessibility, right? So with such a large user base and such a large usage, accessibility is a focus area for the desktop team. Today, we are going to talk about two of our key initiatives, recent enhancements that we've added to supercharge document consumption by making it easier, more accessible, and faster. We will start with two exciting demos first, and then I will give a quick brief about what the desktop team does more to create a more accessible product. First up is Read Out Loud. I think during the earlier sessions, Praval mentioned that we have this feature and we have made some enhancements. So a quick intro about Read Out Loud. It's a text-to-speech feature, and many softwares that deal with text documents have this feature. It is primarily helpful for people who require assistive reading, and such as those who are visually impaired. And it can also be used as a learning aid to learn new languages, and or maybe just use the PDF as an audiobook to hear it out, right? So let's just look at the demo first.
Hi everyone, I'm Rajat from Adobe Acrobat team, and today I will talk about Read Out Loud feature in Acrobat Desktop. Nowadays, many app offers a Read Out Loud feature which allows the user to have the text read to them instead of reading it themselves. This is particularly helpful for users with visual impairments, dyslexia, and those who prefer to listening to the content. Similarly, we also have this feature in our application as well. This feature uses a text-to-speech technology to read the content to the user. Today, the Read Out Loud options are difficult to discover in Acrobat, buried deep within the application menu, as you can see here. For even a small change in the voice or speed, user has to go all the way to the Acrobat preference and make the change, and that's a pretty cumbersome process. We have made this more discoverable, easily accessible, and more intuitive to use by redesigning the UI. We have now brought this Read Out Loud control to a more prominent location in top bar, beside the Find option for better accessibility. As you can see, with this new headphones-like button, the user is able to discover the Read Out Loud feature and read the document without any struggle. Along with this, we have introduced the capability to update the speed of the voice, start, stop, resume the speech, and navigate across the document. Now let's click on this icon and see how it works.
Logo of Mayor Brown legal update July 17, 2015 early reactions to the U.S. Department of Labor's fiduciary re-proposal. The U.S.
This play pause feature helps a user to read the document as per their own requirement. Now let's change the speed and navigate to the different page and see how it goes.
Existing regulation defining investment advice. Current regulations defining the fiduciary landscape for plan advisors have been in place since.
We have recently released this new experience, and this is gradually being rolled out to all the users. And that's not all. Let me now show you the upcoming beta experience. To further enhance the user experience, we have now added few online voices for the paid users, which are better than the other softwares in the market. The new online voices sounds more like human and give a modernized experience to the user. Let's see how it works in the beta version.
Logo of Mayor Brown. Legal update July 17, 2015. Early reactions to the U.S. Department of
Logo of Mayor Brown. Legal update July 17, 2000.
Logo of Mayor Brown. Legal update July 17, 2015. Early reactions to the U.S. Department of Labor's fiduciary existing regulation defining investment advice. Current regulations defining the fiduciary.
We are consistently working on making the experience smooth for the users. Thank you.
That the mic was off. So thank you, Rachit, for the demo. As you can see, with this new experience, the read out loud feature is more accessible, more discoverable, and you have easier way to control it. So you no longer have to dig through menus and preferences. They're right on the top bar, right? And our users will find it easier to use these tools now. And with these new voices, the online voices that we've added, the experience in Acrobat has been up-leveled significantly. So till now, Acrobat has been using OS-provided voices. So these voices sound quite robotic for our users, and this is true for many other softwares which support this read out loud feature. With the introduction of online voices, Acrobat's narration sounds more human to our users. And on top of that, this is available for multiple languages and not just English. Yes, someone had this question earlier that, what are we doing about Indian languages and all? I think that's something that we should add to our roadmap, and that's a good feedback. So we'll take it up with our leaders. Right now, it's primarily for Latin languages, and so this feature right now is available to all our beta users, and very soon we'll be launching it for all our paid customers. Moving on, generative AI, there has been a lot of talk about it today. Some folks want to use it, some folks don't want to use it. So we have been talking about generative AI, how it is making things easier, faster for all of us across different work areas. So even, with this symposium today is quite focused on that. We will have a panel discussion for that as well. So up next, we have Vaishali from my team, who's going to present a demo on how Acrobat is using generative AI to enhance the document consumption experience. Let's look at that demo now.
Hi everyone, I'm Vaishali from Acrobat Desktop team. Today, I'm going to show you how generative AI is making document consumption faster and easier in Acrobat. Let's assume that I am a lawyer who has received this contract to review. Many contracts like the one you see here are long, dense, and hard to go through. As a lawyer, I receive several similar contracts every day, and I have limited time to go through each one of them to extract the relevant details. The problem becomes worse for people with visual strain or difficulty processing large amounts of information. Sifting through such documents in a short span of time can be overwhelming, especially when you are looking for specific details. That's exactly the problem we set out to solve. Instead of scrolling through pages, users see a clear entry point, a quick summary right at the top, making navigation faster and more accessible to everyone. When I click View Summary, I'm taken to this Generative Summary panel, where the tool processes the document and generates a summarized version of the document's content. It's like having someone read it for you and highlight the essentials. Let's see it in action with a real-world legal document, Content License Agreement. In just few seconds, the tool recognizes it's a contract and extracts the key point. Contract type, parties, contract amount, contract term, all neatly organized and easy to read. Summary is not the only thing Acrobat can do. You can also ask specific questions. Now, as a lawyer, I might want to know what's the annual minimum guarantee amount. I just type that into the query bar and the panel takes me to AI Assistant and gives me a clear answer, with attributions showing where in the document it came from. This builds trust and helps user verify the context. It's not just digital PDFs. Even scanned documents like the invoices or signed legal agreements can be summarized instantly. This ensures critical information is accessible no matter the format. Let's see an example. Here's a scanned invoice. When I click on View Summary, the tool extracts the relevant details for me. Now, if I ask what's the total amount charged in this invoice, the tool gives an answer with attribution showing exactly where in the document it came from. By combining summaries with natural language queries, Acrobat reduces the effort needed to navigate and understand long documents. It makes content faster to access, easier to verify, and more inclusive for everyone. Thank you.
Uh, Before we proceed further, I'd like to call out key differentiators between how Acrobat is using generative AI versus how other softwares do. So first of all, it's built right into the product. So the tool is, you don't have to go to a different tool or a different browser. You can directly use it on the PDFs that you're looking at. Second, the answers, AI responses that you're getting, those are anchored to the PDF. So this, Acrobat users get more trust on Acrobat that the responses are actually coming from the documents content only. So as Vaishali highlighted during the demo, that there are attributions to each response. So users can click on each of the response, and then that will take you back to the document where you can map, yes, whatever response I'm getting, each part of that response is actually coming from the document's content. I'd like to conclude by reiterating what we started on. Acrobat has a very large user base, very large usage, and that is why accessibility is a focus area for us. So therefore, we have a dedicated team who works primarily on accessibility issues. They cater to both aspects, document consumption as well as the ease of application usage. So they are responsible for addressing any kind of customer issues which you guys can share today, related to document consumption or related to the application usage. And they are also responsible for adding innovations and enhancements in the product, just like the ones that we demoed today. We also perform annual audits. I think Praval mentioned that during a few questions during the fireside chat. We perform annual audits. And these are done by external parties, third-party parties, not internal to Adobe. And the main purpose of doing such audits is that even with all the quality assessment that our team performs, accessibility issues that we try to identify, and we try to maintain that any feature that we're shipping does not contain any high severity accessibility issues. These audits are essential. So they help us identify gaps that, if addressed, will actually allow the Acrobat product to meet industry standards. So with all these processes and resources that we have put in, Acrobat desktop team continues to keep accessibility as one of the key focus areas for all the development work that we do. And with that, we can have questions.
We are just passing the mics around at the moment. Okay. Before we take the questions, I would just like to request Sandeep that for our participants here today, many of which who have visual impairments, could you maybe take us through what was displayed on the screen during the 2 videos?
Okay, just a sec.
Everyone.
Yeah. So during the first demo that Rachit had showed about read out loud feature, we demoed it in 3 parts. The first part was all the touch points, all the UI touch points from where you can initiate read out loud feature or change the voices or change the volumes. Those were hidden in the menus. So it requires multiple clicks to dig through the correct UI path to identify those. So that was the existing behavior that had been there. So then we added this enhancement to make it more easier and accessible to every user and not just the visually impaired users, right? So for that, we brought out those touch points right on top. So once you open Acrobat, there's a find bar where you can search for the text in the document. We have added a headphone icon right on top, right near that. You click on that and read out loud feature is activated, right? And the moment you have entered the read out loud feature, what more would you want to do? You would want to change the voice, the tone, the speed, or maybe navigate to different pages. So all those touch points have now been brought on top of the bar itself. There's a top bar. So instead of going to the menu and preferences to change the speed, you can do it at the runtime while you are consuming the PDF. So that was the second piece. The third piece was adding introduction of the online voices. That's a beta version. That's why we had to relaunch the application. Those online voices will be available to paid customers only. And with that, you can change the voices to the online version as well. Right now, we only give OS provided voices. So that's an enhancement that will come in. So that was the first demo. Okay. And then the second one was related to generative AI. Now, in this generative AI piece, we have 2 touch points. One is for AI assistant, where you can ask questions, and one is generative summary, where you get a summary of the document. But then we have simplified it even further. The moment you open a long document, I think 4 or 5 pages above, and it's a quite a lot of content, we show a top bar over there, a blue colored ribbon over there on top of the document, which has a view summary button. The moment you click on the view summary button, it will take you directly to the generative summary panel, and all the summary will be generated for you. And right below that generative summary panel, you will have a text box, a query box, where you can ask your follow-up questions. Like if the summary is not sufficient, or you have a follow-up question, you can ask right over there. And once you ask a question over there, that will take you to the AI assistant panel, where you can do all the queries that you have. So this was the end-to-end journey that we showcased for the generative AI. Yeah. Okay. So I think I mentioned that during the presentation also. I'll call it out again. Acrobat's one of the key differentiators for Acrobat with respect to other AI tools that are there. All the responses that we are generating are actually coming from the document only. And that is one of the feedback we have got from many customers, that yes, we trust the response, that it is not coming from anywhere else, that it is genuinely from the document's content. And how do you cross-check that? You can use the attributions. So every response, like there are 2-3 sentences, maybe it has 3 sentences, the response has 3 sentences, each of the sentence is coming from a different page. You will have 3 different attributions. You can click on one attribution, it will take you to that page and highlight that section for you, that this is the part where you got the response from. Yeah, Rakesh, anything?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much for giving that description, Sandeep. We will just take 2 questions. And I would also like to ask the Noida audience if they have any questions first.
Hello.
We have one from Noida.
So, yep, this is Sunil from Noida. So, as Sandeep mentioned, right, the answers are coming from the document. So, are we using any LLM behind the scene, or we have built something like in place inside the Acrobat itself?
That's LLM behind the scene. That's LLM behind the
And
scene.
let's say,
Yeah.
and then let's say we have some document which has some like PIA data or something which I don't want to share, and then I want to query. So, do we have some security on top of it, or how is it?
Okay. So yes, that is one of the biggest concerns for when we started on this journey. Like my team started working on AI in 2023, and that was one of the biggest feedback anyone had. That what about the safety and security of the data? I don't want to share that PDF content. I'm not comfortable with any PII being shared. So we have put in a lot of measures around that. Whatever content, whatever PDF that you share with us, it is given to an LLM, and it's all a transient a model. We don't store the PDF. We store the necessary information that we need to give responses. And I think we can share this information that it gets discarded within 12 hours of once you start the conversation with the PDF.
Okay, we will take one.
So the data is stored.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is this a
Thank you.
follow-up question or is this a different question from Noida?
I had a follow-up question, but it's fine.
I
Nothing.
think then we will move on to the question to Bangalore, if that's okay.
So Noida, there are 2 Sandeep Jain in Adobe right now. About a year ago, it was just 1. So you can ping me. I'm in the document cloud group. Send your follow-up queries directly to me.
Thank you.
Hi, Sandeep. Good afternoon. Great stuff. So I have a couple of questions which are interrelated. So first thing is there any limitation in terms of the size of the document that you are processing? Like, let's say I have a PDF of 1,000 pages. Can it still crawl and give me a summary?
So yes, there is a limit. When we started on, it was I think 120 pages. Then we upgraded to 200 pages. Now I think it's 600 pages, and we are continuously evolving on this. And as and when we get to a larger page size or a larger PDF size, those enhancements will keep on getting added to the product. But when we started, it was actually 25 MB and 120 pages. So over the last 2 years, we have reached 600 pages. And I think it's 100 MB. I'm not 100% sure.
I see. Thank you. The second piece of the question is, how does it interpret and process graphical information like charts, graphs, or images for that matter? Can it still interpret and give me a summary?
Yes. So charts and table supports were recently added. I think it's been 6 months now. And I have myself tried it out. And I think if you noticed in the demo, that Vaishali had, there was an invoice, and it was able to do the calculations and extract information out of that invoice, which was a scanned document, by the way. So yes, that support is also there.
Got it. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, just one more question. Yeah.
Yeah,
The person in the first row, yeah.
yeah. So my question is about accessibility in terms of you mentioned about the feature, this read aloud feature is you put it outside. I mean, it in the front screen itself. I said I heard. So still that that functionality is accessible only via keyboard through some shortcut keys, or still we need to use multiple tabs and arrow key navigation. How does that works now?
So the tab navigation obviously works because that's like the basic requirement, I think. And we have shortcut keys and hotkeys. That's something I think, I'm not sure if there's a hotkey, but that is something that we can explore of adding.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, now I need to ask my question.
I don't want to
I
give up
think,
on
yeah.
So this is a very just a use case that I'm giving you because we find this challenge and some positive I want to share first and the challenge also. So you might want to kind of like think about one thing situation we are facing. I'm from the university. We are part of the disability inclusion team, and we work a lot on PDF because, of course, student consume material through this. And there is a generation of students who come to university without knowledge of screen. I mean, I'm only talking about students with visual disabilities who come to the university without prior knowledge of screen reader. So for me, as a person who's working with these students, it's read aloud is an easy feature to kind of transition them into kind of machine reading, right? But the challenge that we face is, though we are tagging the document at the back end, read aloud is not giving the screen reader experience in terms of heading navigation or link navigation. It just reads. So getting them converted into kind of how do you navigate a document as a screen reader user, that transition has not been. So it's been separate use. So people who are comfortable with PDF are still not know the experience of how do you navigate a document in itself. So the challenge that I'm facing is constantly I have to tell them, no, if this is only in Adobe, but if you are actually navigating in a screen reader, it will be much more easier because you can navigate the headings. So I think it's if it's a simple plugin or additional feature where we can just kind of navigate the document as a visual impaired user, it will be much more useful.
I 100% agree with you. It will be funny, but once we started, enhancing the read out loud feature, I also understood that this is something which is missing, that we should add it. And like I discussed with my team, let's brainstorm around it and let's see how the tagging piece can be integrated with the read out loud feature. And that's something that we'll start exploring. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Before I head out, I would like to thank Rachit and Vaishali who helped me prepare this demos and the entire script and all. So both of them will be available. So both of them will be available in the experience booth where you can actually try out both these experiences hands-on and you can share your follow-up feedback and queries right over there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sandeep. I think we still, as an audience, need to give Sandeep a huge round of applause for that wonderful presentation.